Hey everybody, it's Mr. Renner, and today, like most of this last week and next week, we're going to be talking about how people make laws and how people make rules so that everybody can live together in one community without hurting each other or fighting all of the time. Okay. Today, we're going to be reading about one of the people who works, their whole job is going to be working to make laws and rules to help other people, and that person's called a council person. We're going to be talking to a councilman today, and I want you to pay attention to what a councilman does during their job. Okay, let's get started. First of all, let's talk about something called a contraction. As you can see here on the screen, a contraction is a shortened form of two words that are put together. So the best example, I'm, is the same as I am. We've is the same as we have. And what's is the same as what is. We just take a couple letters out and we smush two words together. As we read this story today, see if you can find the contractions for some of these things. What is you have in this book? What is not? What is I will? What is let us when we smush them together? She is and they are. We are going to be on the page 442. Okay. Councilman Haass Makes a Difference by Michelle Budzilovich. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Michelle Budzilovich. Okay, Councilman Haass, this last name here, he is from Minnesota. He's actually kind of a famous family, and they're from Minnesota. Actually, it says here he lives in Texas, but I think their family is originally from Minnesota. This is an interview. One of the reasons we're going to be talking about contractions is because when people are speaking, they use contractions all the time. You don't always use it when you're writing, but when we're speaking, we use contractions all the time. It just sounds better to our ears. So anyway, a councilman is somebody who works to make laws. Let's see what Councilman Haass says in this interview. We are on page 442. Let's get started. Who makes the laws in your town or city? Chip Haass is a councilman from San Antonio, Texas. He represents District 10. A district is an area of a city. It's like a big neighborhood. Each district elects a representative to the city council. Councilmen and councilwomen govern the city along with the mayor. They help to run its laws and help to keep everybody in the city working and doing good things. That's called governing. It really is the same as making rules. Councilman Haass has lived in San Antonio all his life. When he's not working for the city, he likes to play golf. He also likes to watch baseball. When he was in third grade, Haass wanted to be a professional baseball player. But the people of, here we are. But the people of San Antonio are happy that he is now a city councilman. Read on to find out what Councilman Haass's job is all about. This is the city of San Antonio. City like Columbia Heights has a small city council. Minneapolis also has a city council. We're going to be voting next month. We're going to be having a vote to see who our next city council person is going to be. Maybe next week I'll show you a little bit about what the council people in Minnesota and Minneapolis are like. Okay, this interview has a question and then an answer. We'll just do a couple pages. How long have you been a member of the city council? I have been elected twice. Each term is 2 years long. That's a total of 4 years. I started my first term in June 2003. Then I was re-elected 2 years later. I cannot run for re-election in 2007. Why did you decide to run for city council? Friends and people in my community thought I would be a good representative. I could help make and pass laws that would make a difference. My favorite part of my job is helping people. How did you run your campaign? I didn't have a lot of money to pay for my campaign. My friends and supporters helped me. We worked very hard. Every day we talked to people. We walked block to block. We knocked on voters' doors. It was tiring, but also very rewarding. This is a good hint about what people have to do if they want to help people and make laws and make rules for the city and for the people in the city. You have to run a campaign. And I can be showing you a little bit more about that. But for today, I think we're going to stop and we'll continue the rest of the story next week. Okay? And here we are with our packet work for today. This is in the middle of the packet. It says Councilman Haass makes a difference. Read interactive reading, page 442 to 447. We're just doing this page today. Next week, we're going to be doing some of these other pages and like this one here, but we just aren't doing that today, okay? Councilman Haass makes a difference. Is this fiction, nonfiction, or poetry? What do you think? If it's not a story that we're making up and telling you, and if it isn't a poem that has rhyming and alliteration and wordplay, but instead is telling us information about something, what is that called? And what type? It actually tells you right here. And I told you also up here, what kind of story is this? Read pages 442, 443, and make sure you understand it by reading strategic reading. What was the campaign like? It says here, I didn't have a lot of money to pay for my campaign. My friends and supporters helped me. We worked very hard. Every day we talked to people. We walked block to block. We knocked on voters' doors. It was tiring, but also very rewarding. Is there a part where you noticed you didn't understand? What did you do in that part? Check the strategies you tried. Did you reread it? Did you try and reflect on what the person is trying to tell you? This is an interview. This author is trying to tell you what it's like to be a council. Did you think about the meaning of the words? Did you ask some questions of yourself? Did you try and figure out the meaning of a word that maybe you didn't understand? Did you understand that this was an interview? What are some strategies you used? Okay, we'll be going over that a little bit next week. Of course, you can always talk to your teacher about it. All right, you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you after the weekend, okay? Bye now.